evening. Good evening. Welcome back. If you're seeing me, it must be a Wednesday night. So that means it's wellness conversation time. So we're back with the Joy is Just Over Yonder podcast. I'm your host, Lakisha McGaney-Osei of I Touch Souls, and Joy is Just Over Yonder. And we are excited every week to bring you exciting, in depth conversations surrounding the wellness of your life. It could be internally well, how we're being well from the inside and out, mentally well, eating well, moving well. You never know which well we're going to visit. But tonight we have a very special guest. As you know, we're leading up to Wrapped in Wellness in January 23. And so we are taking the next few weeks to give you a sneak peek only into the amazing guest speakers and facilitators that are going to be pouring into your wells. And when I say they're going to be pouring into your wells, you're going to come, but believe me, it's going to be interactive. We're not bringing you the fluff. We are going deep so that when you leave that weekend, you leave a different person with the tools you need, with the reflections that you may have to continue to follow up on, but most importantly, so that you are surrounded by people in a safe space to make that next move in your own life. And so tonight, we have with us one of our guest speakers, Miss Sheniqua Johnson, who is a media and wellness expert. She is also a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. We all know. And I had the nerve to wear pink today. And,
All
and
good. I have no blue on, so
right.
it's all good.
We look good in all colors
That's right.
representing. And so we are going to just have a conversation like we do. You know, we come into your living room on Wednesday evening and just open up the discussion again around wellness. And tonight we're going to again sneak peek of what she's going to be bringing to you at Wrapped in Wellness, but also talk about how to say no to others and yes to you, which is one of her key presentations that she does. And so she'll touch a little bit on that. And so that'll also be something else you will be able to bring her into your own fold and have her go in more detail about that at your future conference or gathering. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank
How are
you
you this
so.
evening?
I am blessed this evening. Let me tell you, I'm just in awe. I am in awe to watch you just grow and blossom and just do great things. So I celebrate and salute you. Girl, you are doing it.
Thank
You are doing
you.
it. Yes.
Yes, I
So it's an
really
honor to
appreciate
be
that.
here with you, to be in the same space because we met, we found that we just have so many things in common. So I thank you so very much for inviting me to come in and to speak to your audience at the conference. Can't wait to get to the well. I'm telling you, that's all I keep saying. Is like we got to get to the well.
To
We
the
just got to
well.
hold on until we get to the well. So it's an honor to be here with you all today, and I'm excited to get to the well and to be able to share a little bit more.
Awesome. And we are so excited to have you. And when I say she is excited, you all, she is ready. She is definitely ready. And again, I thank you for your kind words. But you are a mogul in your own right. We met a couple of years ago at a conference at Sweatpants
Mhm.
and Chill, I believe it was. And Shanika, you have gone from launching your first book to, she's a professional RN by
Mhm.
trade, but she has taken her skills and knowledge from that industry and launched it on a whole new level,
Yeah.
to the point where she has her own, when we say media and wellness expert, because she is in the media world. She
Yeah.
has launched her own television show, which we'll hear more about as well, and has several books that she has been a part of and published herself, and a publisher.
That's right.
Yes, so she wears many hats,
Yes, yes.
on top of, being a mother of 2 young men, and so, again, we do share that in common. We're discussing how literally our boys are the same age, but so this discussion of how to say no to others and yes to yourself, that's is for a lot of you out there who
Yes.
are wearing those multiple hats and sometimes just don't know how to slow down and take into account that you have to say yes to yourself. So
Mhm,
we'll talk a little bit about that as well as what people can expect when they come and join us at the well and they
mhm.
have you in the session. What is a little something they can expect?
Well, for one, and this is not to sound cocky in any way,
Mhm,
but I'm just confident. I'm confident in the Spirit of God that dwells in me. So when people encounter me at the well, you're going to get what you came for. Like, you're
mhm,
going to get motivated and you're going to leave feeling inspired. You're going to feel like your fire has been ignited, because the reason why we go to the well is because we need to get our cups filled up. We
mhm,
are strong women in our right, and we do everything from being in our professions to, raising our families, to whatever it is that we have chosen to do and have been called to do. We have to get our cups refilled. You can't just be out here in these streets pouring into this person and pouring into that person and not to get filled back up. So it is certainly my intention to, one, come in full. Like, I'm going to come in
mhm,
full so that I can serve, so that I can be whatever the young woman, or even if there's men in the room,
mhm.
I can be exactly who it is that they need me to be. Because we're all looking for someone to stand in the gap, someone to identify with, and someone to be bold enough to say those things that we are in desperate need of hearing. So I am going to bring forth that impact, that motivation that will hopefully light your fire and get you just super excited about life, about love, about living on purpose.
Well, now you heard what she said, and she means what she said. So I'm
Mhm,
gonna just remind you all what her session is going to be. Strength to shift your ish.
mhm,
Ways to enhance your energy, mental clarity, and stamina naturally. So you
mhm.
can't tell me that in there somewhere is something that you need because we
Mhm.
all have some ish that we need to shift.
Listen,
We definitely do.
facts.
And I love how you said, you're going to get exactly what you came for.
Mhm,
And that is truly the truth because everyone is going to be coming for something different.
mhm,
But when you land at the well, when you join us there, whatever it is that you have been in need of, somewhere during that weekend, the light bulb is going to go off. Somebody is going to open up that well that you may have closed off for some
mhm.
time. And it may need a little cracking open, but it's going to be poured into, and you will walk away refilled,
Amen.
restored, rejuvenated, relaxed. We're going to reflect some, but there is going to be a re-energizing that you can feel already. And we
Yes.
we 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks away, and you can
Mm,
already feel the energy that you can anticipate when you come into the well. So we are excited. We
that's
are
right.
excited, and we love your confidence. We
Yes,
love the
yes,
confidence that you
yes.
walk in.
You have
Those
to. It's like the
yes.
world tells us to dim our light. The world tells us not to be too much. Don't be too loud. Don't be too bold. That's what the world tells us.
Yes.
But we know behind that, we know the world needs individuals to be bold, to be bright, because that's what we seek. When we're going through our day-to-day ish, we need someone who has that courage to stand tall to say, you know what, this is not going to happen. We need those people to come forth as our leaders, so that we know that it is possible. So if I come up on the stage and I'm like, all right, everybody, let's talk about energy, yawn. Like, how are you gonna leave ignited? So of course, I've got to bring forth that energy, and I've got to be able to stand confidently in what it is that I'm delivering. Why? Because I know it works. I know it works. I know exactly what to do inside of my body. Now, I've been a registered nurse for 21 years. And so I think I've learned a little bit about health and wellness and what it is that the body needs. But over the years, through life, through everything that I've been through, I've also learned what my body needs, specifically what I need. And the things that my body specifically needs, I've come to find out other people need it too. So if I keep quiet about it, how does anybody else get healing? Right. So that's me being selfish. If I keep my mouth quiet, I'm like, no, I'm not going to share the secret that I found. Well, I'm feeling good, but I'm not going to tell you what. No. So I have to come forth and I have to share it. And I can't wait to unleash all of the secrets. And these are tested and proven secrets that I found that really do help me to thrive. It helps me to keep going when the weather is cold and gloomy, when I've got a lot on my to-do list and my plate is full. I've found ways to help me to rejuvenate myself, to replenish myself. Because sometimes you can't always run to the well.
Right.
You've got to know enough and have enough in your storage to be able to say, you know what, let me tap into this energy supply because it's in need. So I'm hoping that I will be able to fill you up so that you have an abundance of it, and you can store it. You can use it now, you can use it later, but all the while you still have exactly what it is that you're ever going to need. And maybe you don't need it right now. So I might say something, you're like, well, I'm good right now, I'm feeling energized. But then in the next month, when I'm not standing in your face, you're going to be like, oh, snap. What was that she was saying? So
Right.
it's gonna be there for you, because I'm believing by faith that the people who come to the well will have their specific needs met. And everybody, all of the speakers, the host, everybody is just going to bring everything that it's going to be like a smorgasbord. So whatever you stand in
Mm.
need of, you're going to be able to get it at the well.
At the well. I love it. She is a great
Yeah,
spokesperson.
yeah, yes, at
Yes.
the well.
But it is at the well. At the
Yes,
well is where we will get well. And I'm
yes.
telling you, there is going to be a wealth of knowledge. And
Mm-hmm.
like she said, she's 20 years into nursing. We didn't read a full bio, but already was in her profession in high school. She already
Mm-hmm.
became a CNA while she was still in high
Yep.
school. She graduated from the College of New Rochelle, where she received
Mm-hmm.
her bachelor's in science and nursing degree. And she's also alumni of the University of Phoenix, where she
Okay.
achieved her master's of science in nursing with a
Yes.
special concentration in nursing healthcare education. So she's served as a nurse leader for 16 years, and she continues to make an impact in the healthcare industry. So this is something that she lives, something that she is passionate about. And she's just found a unique way to share her love of helping people and
That's right.
improving their physical well being, as she has said. And so, as we think you look back on the academics, the academia that you held, she's a professor as well. So she's teaching the next generation of
That's right.
nurses. Yeah,
Just got
that's
the
like
hats
what,
all over the place.
hat number 10. Hat number 10. So, and you obviously can see she's a motivational speaker,
Yes.
um, who covers many subjects, and a author as
Mhm.
well. So she's the author of the self-help book, I Didn't Know My Own Strength,
Mhm.
How My Faith Moved My Mountains, and as well as a contributing author in several inspirational anthologies. And so with all those hats,
Yes.
of course, with all those hats comes a lot of yeses. So
Mm.
then we kind of migrate into, when do we say no? How do we balance it all? How do you balance it all?
Well, let me tell you all a story. I'll make it a quick story.
Mhm.
Many years ago, it was many years ago. I had just finished well, actually, I was in my master's degree program, and I was going through a divorce. I have the longest divorce in history, took 5 years. Try to top that,
Oh.
right? I'm just so lovable. I guess he just didn't want to let me go. Maybe. He might tell a different story. But I was going through a lot during my life. And I remember one day I went to the doctor and I just was like, Doc, I'm 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 tired all the time. Like something
Mhm.
is wrong with me. I just couldn't figure out what was wrong. So I went to the doctor. And the doctor, he's running all of his tests. And he's like, well, Sheniqua, tell me what it is that you do in a day. So I walked him through a timeline of what it is I do in a day. So I said, well, the alarm clock goes off at 5 o'clock. I get up, I get myself together. Then I get my young men up, get breakfast on the table, get them up, get them dressed, drill sergeant mode, and get them in the
Mhm.
car. Then I go driving them to school, not one school, but two schools, because they were in two separate schools because of their age difference, right? So I'm going to two schools, I'm doing my drop offs, and then I come back home, gather my stuff, and then I get ready for work. I go to work, spend my time at work, going out to see the patients, making sure they're well, making sure they're taken care of, they're taking their medications. After I finish up with the patients, back in the car, back to the two separate schools, come get the kids, get home, get homework started. Now I'm preparing dinner. Now I'm doing all of the social activities and signing consent forms and everything. And then finally getting them into bed. Oh, but you would think that a girl would be able to rest once the kids go to bed. No, no, no. That's when I'd have to pull out my school books and start studying and doing tests and writing papers and doing everything that I do in the day. Probably going to sleep around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and there go the alarm clock again. And we started this vicious cycle all over again. And the doctor was like,
Hmm.
no wonder you tired. Like he thought that I was coming in because I was, having deficiencies or something going on. He was like, ma'am, you tired because you're doing too much.
Mhm.
I literally was saying yes to everything because you know why? I thought that I needed to be superwoman.
Mm.
I thought that that's what I needed to rise to be. I did not want my ex-husband to think that because he left that my life was going to crumble. I didn't want my kids to think because daddy wasn't in the home that we weren't going to be able to survive. So what did I do? I got me a little red material, threw it
Mhm.
behind my neck, and I started to be superwoman to each and every person who was around me. Except I forgot one person,
Hmm.
me. Did all that running around, doing all of this, trying to get all these accolades, do all of this for everybody else. And somehow I forgot about me. Like, how can I forget about me? I was the one who was doing everything. How could I forget to serve me? That's because I didn't serve me first.
Mhm.
You know how the Bible tells us when we're tithing, right? We're supposed to give 10% off the top to God first. You should be tithing to yourself first. Well, after God, of course. But
Mhm.
you need to take your cut off the top. So if you wake up in the morning and you got a little bit of energy, take your tithes off the top. Get your 10%. And then the world can feast off of everything else. So if we adopt that principle in serving ourselves first, and it's not selfish. If you want to call it selfish, call it. I don't care what you call it. You can
Right.
call me selfish. It doesn't matter to me. But what it means to me, see, it doesn't matter. But what it means is that I am wise enough to take care of me first. So if you can't take care of yourself, how on earth are you going to be able to take care of others? If I want to prove to people that I can take care of other people, I got to start with me. And that's what I learned to do. It wasn't something that's automatic. Like, you literally have to unlearn those negative, those bad behaviors, those behaviors that cause you to self-destruct.
Right.
I had to unlearn those so that I can start to learn new ways. And those new ways said that it's okay for me to say yes to me. Now, I understand, Lakisha, that when I say yes to me, sometimes that means no to you.
Mm-hmm.
I offer my apologies, but it's
But no
still,
buts.
yeah, it's non-negotiable.
Yes.
I have to say yes to me. And that's what I'm building. That's what I'm constantly telling myself as we enter into this new year. I'm telling myself, you get to say yes to you. What do you want, Sheniqua? What is it that your heart desires? So I'm going after everything, not some things, not a few things. I'm going after everything that my heart desires. And that's me saying yes to myself.
To yourself. I love when you said it doesn't matter but what it means.
Yes.
Like being able to separate the two.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to say, okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear
Mm-hmm.
what you want.
And your point is
Um,
valid.
and it's
Like,
valid.
your feelings are valid. I
I
don't take
acknowledge
anything.
you.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
I acknowledge you. But what that's going to mean for me today
yes.
is that. And I think, and that's a powerful step for people to
Mm-hmm.
be able to take. I wrote down when you said the cape, I was like, that superwoman syndrome that so many of us have.
Yes,
It is literally a syndrome
yes.
that we have
It's
because
like we get
you know what?
adopted
In
into
some
it.
cases, we haven't been asked to be superwoman, but
No.
we have convinced ourselves
Yes,
that we need to be.
yes.
Well, our old selves convinced us
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
like you,
Or
I
circumstances
it's
convinced
convince
us
you
that we
that,
needed to
that
be
right,
superwoman. Yes.
right. But when you graduate from that, it is so liberating.
Uh,
It is
and I
so
won't go back.
liberating.
You can't
And,
set this girl free and think
right.
I'm gonna crawl back into the cave. No, 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 no.
Yes.
No, 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 no. Y'all better
Free
act like y'all
indeed.
singing that Destiny's Child song. Y'all better act like it and start practicing saying no. Better start.
Start. That's amazing. I love it. It doesn't matter, but what it means. Like
Yes.
I said, I got to write that down because
Yes.
that's a key way to look
Mm-hmm.
at some things.
Yes.
Awesome. So we appreciate that. And so of course you said talked about, the divorce relationship and realizing how you were going to that doctor's appointment, you
Mm-hmm.
know, turned it on for you. And so what was that turning point now that you like realized this is how my day is going every single
Mm-hmm.
day?
Mm-hmm.
What steps did you take to migrate from that existence?
Well, it took getting a diagnosis. So the doctor diagnosed me with chronic fatigue syndrome. So now I got a fancy word
Mm,
attached to how it was that I was feeling. But even hearing a diagnosis didn't it didn't really make me change.
mm,
It was when I got tired of feeling the way I was feeling. That's what made me change. So the acknowledgement of what was going on, having it written in black and white still wasn't enough to make the change. But it's when my mind got made up to say, girl, you deserve better than this.
Right.
Everybody else is out here living their best life. And here you are, struggling, scratching, trying to survive. And it was just something that clicked in my head that gave me permission to be able to say no to those things that were not going to help me to get to where it is that I wanted to grow. So wherever it is you're trying to grow in life, not go, but grow. The person that you are striving to be, you have to make certain that the things that you're saying yes to are going to fuel that. Because otherwise you're just in a vicious cycle of burnout. And now you got the yes syndrome and you're just saying yes, 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 yes. And you're taking on too much and overwhelm still comes. So it was the moment in time when I had to decide that I did not like the way I was feeling. My life was going grand. I mean, okay, I got divorced, but it now allowed me this newfound freedom. I was thriving in my career. I was rising to the top of the career ladder. I started, I was getting my degree, so I was starting to think about business and strategies. So it wasn't like life was bad. It's just that I didn't like the way I felt. So one day I just decided to try it. And the kids wanted to go do whatever it is that they wanted to do. And I just said, sorry, but mommy doesn't have the capacity to do that. I mean, I get that you want to go to the park. I get you want to go to the movies with your friends. But right now, I don't have the capacity. And what that means is I can't put another thing on my plate. Now, if you can get to the movies on your own, then maybe the answer would be yes to you. But I had to get okay with not even justifying, but giving the God's honest rationalization to say, listen, I just don't have the capacity. So maybe you don't like telling people no. It makes you feel bad when you tell people no. You hate to see their faces. I get it. Just say, I don't have the capacity at this moment. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh,
Right.
So when you get the capacity, we yes, absolutely. But I don't have the capacity right now. And make sure you do the hand motion.
Right.
So they understand where you're going. Like, I don't have the capacity right now. And that's how you start to say, when you say no to others, that's how it then converts itself. And it's now speaking a yes to you. So yes, I get to sit still for a moment. Yes, I get to deep breathe. Yes, I get to just be in this moment and not be running around like a crazed woman. So
I love it.
y'all. Try
yes. I do not have the capacity
Don't have
at
the
this
capacity.
time. Yes.
Now
And
maybe you can do some
that's a
things.
powerful word. Because
Yes,
usually I'm using it
capacity.
on the other side saying, recognizing that someone doesn't have the capacity for you, but like also saying, I don't have the capacity to do this next thing
Yes.
at
And
this time.
if they hear that in the correct way, then hopefully something will trigger in their mind to say, well, what is it that I can do for you? So how can I help you expand your capacity? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here, you can now take some of these things, right? So part of that saying yes to yourself, you have to be willing to delegate. Delegation is a word that we do not use nearly enough. We need to learn to delegate. And what that says is you're allowing someone else to help you gain capacity. That's what it is. So let other people help you realign your limits, right? So let them take some things off of your to-do list so that you now can be available to say yes if that's what's really in your heart to do.
I love it. So there you have it, like two very strong nuggets right there. Know your capacity, and when it has been, there's some limitation on it, and don't be afraid to let it be known that you've reached your
Mhm.
capacity. And
Yes.
then to delegate,
Mhm.
you know, it's true. We don't use the word enough
Mhm.
because we don't like the other word, control.
Mhm.
You don't want to give
Mhm.
up the control
Yeah.
of what is to be or what needs to be done. Um, but part of growing, part of leveling up, parting of being able to expand your capacity does mean that you need to be able to delegate.
Absolutely.
You have to be able to delegate some things. Where is the low hanging fruit, or a project that you really can't take on right now,
Mhm.
and know that you have capable people to do it, and being able to let go of that
Mhm.
control, that you have to be hands on everything, you know. And that's something I know personally that I continue to work on. But
It's a constant
but
cycle.
it
We
is
have to
a
keep
cycle.
reminding ourselves
Mhm.
because we go at it really good, we do
Right.
well, and then we start. As soon as we start to gain capacity, then we start grabbing
Right.
more stuff. We start grabbing more stuff in our way, and it's like, dude, what did you just do? You had all
Right.
this nice little cushy space. You had room to move around, and you
Mhm.
just pulled in more stuff. So we
Right.
have to constantly remind ourselves when we let it go, you don't have to hoard, you don't have to pull more stuff in. You can just grow comfortable with having that space.
Awesome. And right there, we're going to pause for a commercial break, because this is going to be a place where you can help build your capacity. So we're going to show
Mm.
you who's coming to Wrapped in Wellness 3.0, the overflow. Yeah, so we are super excited about all that we're going to be bringing to you. You saw some of the speakers. We also have Miss Rosalind Law, who confirmed and will be featuring our Eat Well portion, who is going to
Mhm.
be doing a dynamic job of how we use our, food and nutrition to energize ourselves. So she is welcome aboard. You'll start seeing her. Posters coming out here today, but it is going to be a phenomenal time to gather, to collaborate, to build into the new year and beyond. And part of that, collaborating with each other is going to be a major part of Wrapped in Wellness as we continue not just our 3 day experience here at the beginning of the year, but throughout the year. At least quarterly, you will see some events continuing to happen. We launched our outdoor half day retreat this past fall, which was amazing. So we were able to go to some outdoor space, do yoga outside, have some very meaningful conversation on trauma and grief, which was very needed. And when these experiences, and I say experiences, not events, but when these experiences happen, you just never know how timely they are for
Mhm.
you in your life. So you may be coming to get one thing, and then it serves a whole nother purpose that you didn't realize. So I'm looking so forward to having you there. Now we can't in our conversation without hearing a little bit more about the media side, because I know you have a lot to offer on that end. Tell us a little bit more about your show. Anything that you want to talk about that, how to be a guest on it, we can expect, and how do we tune in?
Yes, absolutely. So I am the host of The Heart of the Matter with Sheniqua Johnson, RN. And what we do on that show is that I bring in my special guests and we talk about healing of your heart and your mind. So it is about mental wellness because we understand that the issues of life do flow inside of our hearts, and it spills over into every areas of our lives, right? So it takes over. So we're having those mental health conversations that people don't always like to talk about, but we talk about it on my television show. So my show actually streams on Amazon Fire TV. You can get it on Chromecast. If you have a smartphone, you can do it on your Google Play. So it's available pretty much all over the place. It's on Roku, and you're able to watch it. You're able to tune in so that you can get that heart to heart connection that we are all in need of. So, in addition to me having my television show, I'm also a podcaster. So, I have a podcast, Sisterly Sundays, where I get on. I'll tell you that's my ministry. That's where I get on and I share whatever it is that the Lord puts into my heart. And I'm bringing forth motivation and encouragement to help you just get through. Because like you said, Lakisha, sometimes we don't know what we stand in need of until it's like staring us right in the face. So I thank God for allowing me to get into the media space so that I'm able to help others in ways that they didn't think that they would even need the assistance. But I'm grateful and I'm honored that it's there. So I've got a lot of different things going on. I've got some new projects that's like hovering over in my head. And I'm just excited to just be able to serve people and to serve from a place of wholeness, that I have done the work within myself to get me right. And now I'm able to serve and I can serve with the full cup and I'm not, spilling my toxicity or anything over to others. So I take care of me so that I can take care of others. So I have the publishing company because that's actually where it started out, me in the media industry. It started out with the publishing company. So if you have a book that's just brewing up inside of you and you just don't know where to go, where to start, like that's when you connect with me. And my company is now called Stronger Through Faith Media, and we help you get those books birthed out. If you have a podcast in your belly and you want to find out how to get your podcast out, Stronger Through Faith Media helps you with that as well. And listen, if you like, you know what, I got a talent, baby, and I need to take that thing on TV. How can a girl get on TV? Well, come on, and Stronger Through Faith Media will be able to help you with that as well. We just want to make it available to people.
Right.
So whatever level you feel like you're at, you have a message, you have a story, and it's important that other people hear that because it's through your testimony, it's through your survival skills that other people learn how to survive and learn how to heal and learn how to grow. So it's important that we share those things that we go through so that other people can be impacted in a positive way from it as well.
I love it. And that's a meme that I recently saw, I think in the last 2 days. It said, now that you've gone and healed yourself, now go out and heal someone else. And
Mm-hmm.
it's exactly what we've been talking about, taking what we've learned, how we've healed and mature, and then, showing up for
Mhm.
others in that space as well. Well, those are the strong. Say the media company name again.
Stronger Through Faith Media.
Stronger Than Faith Media. So they have your needs covered.
Yes.
Podcasting, publishing, being on TV.
Mhm.
And if they want to, if someone is interested in being a guest on your show,
Come
they will reach
on,
you.
just message me. Like wherever you
Mhm.
find me, if you find
Yeah.
me, if you want to DM me, listen, I answer DMs as long as you're not sliding in with no craziness. But
Right.
if you see it on social media, you can DM me and just express your interest. Or if you want to send me an email, you can send an email to info@strongerthroughfaith.com. So info@strongerthroughfaith.com, and just tell me what you stand in need of. Tell me,
Awesome.
tell me what that little light that's flickering inside of you, and allow me to do what God has called me to do and to ignite that. So you don't even have to have a full flame when you come to me. Just come to me and let's talk about that little light that's shining, that's flickering inside. And I know what to do. Don't worry about it. I know what to do.
There you go. Remember, she started this off, y'all. She told y'all
Mhm.
she is confident in what she is doing and what
Yes.
she has to offer. And I'm telling you, I have seen her in action, and she is the truth. So we are just so pleased that you were able to join us
Thank you.
for this wellness conversation. We hope that you got a lot out of it in our audience, and that you have made the decision to show up for yourself and to meet us at the well,
At
where
the
we
well.
will be experiencing the overflow. So,
Yes.
as we wrap this up, I always like to allow my guests, if they have any final things, any final nuggets that they want to leave the audience with, you may do so now.
It's yours.
Mm.
It's yours. You've been waiting. You've been waiting for permission. You've been waiting for confirmation. You've been waiting for validation. Well, here it is. It's yours. So come on, get what you need. It doesn't take anything away from you to say, that you're in need of something, right? It's okay. See, and that's the beauty of getting at the well, where you're going to be surrounded by super strong women, and maybe some few good men in there too. You're
Yeah.
going to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. So it's yours. Come on and get what you need.
I love it. And we are going to leave it at that because it is yours. And guess what? You are enough right now
Mhm.
to show up for you. Not for me, not for anybody else, but show up for you. So we're going to call that a wrap on this week's wellness conversation, where our
Mhm.
special guest was Ms. Sheniqua Johnson, the media and wellness expert. And we look forward to seeing you all in the new year, time and time again. But definitely, we hope to see you at the well. Peace and blessings.